Dana White just dropped multiple massive announcements at once, and the UFC landscape is getting crazier by the day. First, Dana officially confirmed that Arman Tsarukyan will serve as the backup fighter for the huge Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje showdown at the White House. That means if anything happens to either man leading into the event, Arman is stepping straight into one of the biggest fights of the year. Considering Tsarukyan has been waiting for his title opportunity and staying active behind the scenes, this is a gigantic position for him to be in. Dana also had a bizarre warning for Dillon Danis ahead of UFC 328 this weekend. Speaking about the chaos Danis tends to bring everywhere he goes, Dana joked that if Dillon shows up, the Muslim Brotherhood might end up so focused on him that Sean Strickland could finally get a break from being the main target. And then came the biggest bombshell of all. Dana White says Conor McGregor is finally expected to return this summer. Dana sounded unusually confident, explaining that there are major things happening behind the scenes that make him strongly believe the comeback is finally close to happening.
Well, Dillon Danis.
Oh, Dillon Danis. Well, Dillon.
Here we go.
If you show up on Saturday, maybe the Muslim Brotherhood will be so focused on you, they won't be able to go after Sean.
Where was when at the very end at the press conference, when Khamzat kicked Sean, where did he kick him?
I think in the nuts.
Oh, what the fuck?
The security guy from that angle got in the way of the kick. And, you know, I had his arms. I had Khamzat's arms, and I didn't think he'd kick him. I didn't think he was going to do anything. I thought it was going to be a lot of yelling and back and forth, so.
Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev just revealed that after he beats Strickland, he'll move up to heavyweight for a fight with Alex Pereira. He explained that if Pereira loses to Cyril Gane and comes back down to 205, that would still be massive. But if that doesn't happen, Khamzat says he's willing to go all the way up to heavyweight because at this point he's looking for the biggest names and biggest paydays available. And honestly, a move up from middleweight doesn't sound unrealistic anymore. If Chimaev gets past Sean Strickland, there really aren't many big fights left for him at 185. He's already cleaned out most of the top names, and the UFC clearly sees him as a superstar attraction. That's why a potential jump to light heavyweight could become very real, especially with champion Carlos Ulberg currently absent from the picture. Fights against names like Magomed Ankalaev or even Paulo Costa at 205 would be absolutely massive from a promotional standpoint. Ankalaev would test Khamzat against an elite, dangerous champion-level fighter with serious wrestling and striking, while a Costa fight would be pure chaos and entertainment with the amount of trash talk alone.
But you don't care if you leave the UFC undefeated and that you just want to go and do big things. Do you think there's any big things left for you at middleweight after this fight, or are the big things only at light heavyweight?
I don't think so, but still Sean, not big thing for me because the guy I beat before, I did all 5 rounds. I took from guy like, I win all 5 rounds and with Duplessis, and he beats him twice, bro. If I stay there, if I beat Sean, then Imamo getting beat off Sean, so what's the point? We just going like Russian roulette, just roll? No, I just want to go big fights. Alex Pereira, if you're gonna lose, you're gonna come down. He's a big fight too, big name. If he not, I go to heavyweight, but maybe there as well. I need big names, big money. So I came here to do some big things, and just not stay here like take the easy fights.
So you're saying you're willing to even go up to heavyweight for a big fight if the opportunity is there?
Of course.
Arman Tsarukyan just revealed some absolutely insane information about Khamzat Chimaev's current weight cut situation, and it's already causing concern across the MMA world. According to Arman, Chimaev is cutting 21 kilograms, which is 46 pounds, for this fight. And with weigh-in day coming tomorrow, he admitted it's going to be extremely difficult for Khamzat. Arman didn't fully clarify whether Khamzat still has 21 kilograms left to cut just 2 days before the fight, or if that refers to the amount he cuts once fight week starts. But either way, the number is enormous. If he meant Chimaev entered fight week needing to lose 21 kilograms in around 5 days, that is an absurd amount of weight to cut and almost unheard of even by UFC standards. And if he meant Chimaev still had to lose a massive portion of that within the final days before weigh-ins, fans are seriously questioning how realistic or safe that even is. Naturally, this has sparked a lot of concern among UFC fans because Khamzat has already had issues with weight cuts in the past, especially during his welterweight days. A cut this extreme explains why people constantly talk about him eventually moving up permanently, potentially even to light heavyweight or beyond in the future. Let's dive into what Arman had to say.
Как ты оценишь сейчас в данный момент подготовку Кhamzата? Он в очень хорошей форме. Да, конечно, завтра будет нелегко. Тем более очень весогонка, он очень много веса гоняет. Никому не легко. Даже если ты гоняешь 3 килограмма, а Хамзат гоняет почти, в этот раз он 21 килограмм он гоняет в этот раз. 21 килограмм это большая цифра. По 10 килограмм.
Касательно твоей схватки, объявили сперва с одним инфлюенсером схватку у Рафи, правильно произнести? Да. И объявили сразу вторую схватку. Я вообще не видел, чтобы, не помню, чтобы так быстро объявляли 2 схватки.
У меня есть и 3-я, и 4-я уже.
Блин, я не понимаю, что ты творишь. Ты как будто ломаешь все стереотипы, которые можно проводить и драться вообще за какие-то периоды.
Мне надо сейчас бой. Посмотрим, когда бой, от этого зависит. Когда...
Colby Covington is fully backing the champion, saying Strickland has no chance. He believes Chimaev will easily take him down and dominate the fight on the ground, claiming the undefeated Chechen is on a completely different level than anyone Sean has faced before. On the other side, Kamaru Usman, who's faced both fighters, has a very different view. He says Strickland's tricky, unorthodox style could really test Chimaev. He pointed out how hard it is to hit Sean because of the way he blocks, and leans away from shots. He also noted that Chimaev has one main weapon he relies on to dominate opponents, but if that doesn't work, he'll be forced to show his full arsenal. He even gave Khamzat credit for his striking, mentioning how he stood and dropped Gilbert Burns multiple times, and said if Chimaev changes his mentality and fights like a true mixed martial artist, instead of relying on his wrestling, we could see an all-out war between the two. Alright, let's hear what Colby Covington had to say about the fight.
I know you're not the biggest fan of Sean Strickland. Are you giving him a chance here against Khamzat? Like, we saw some pretty good wrestling takedown defense against Hernandez.
No, I'm not giving him a chance. Hernandez and Khamzat are completely different levels of grapplers and the way they approach their strategy. So I think Khamzat's going to take him down and submit him. Obviously, Shmo went and watched them spar back at Extreme Couture a couple years ago, and he pretty much said like it wasn't competitive. Khamzat was just taking him down and submitting him. So I expect that same game plan. He's not going to be stupid and strike with Sean, and make it a kickboxing fight. He's just going to make it straight grappling. And, I think he's going to put Strickland in some really bad positions and either submit him or just hold him out for 25 minutes.
What are your predictions for this fight, MMA fans? Drop them in the comments below. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.